ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੜੀ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਅਫੋਰਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਫ੍ਰੀਕੁਐਂਸੀ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੜੀ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਅਫੋਰਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਹਾਈਲੀ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਇਰੇਬਲ ਯਾਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੇ ਹੀਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਾਂਗ ਪਰ ਚੋਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੀ ਪਰਖ ਤੇ ਖਰੇ ਉਤਰੇ ਪੀਸ ਆਊਟ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਡੱਪ ਕਰੀਦੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਪੇਤ ਪਾ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਆਉਣ ਦਈਦਾ ਵਿਚੜਾ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਉਹ ਜੋ ਭੱਜਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੜੀ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਅਫੋਰਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਫ੍ਰੀਕੁਐਂਸੀ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੜੀ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਅਫੋਰਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ
That was fire. And we're back with another episode of Frequency and Friends with a very special guest. He is making his his return to the show. 5 years ago, he was here, helped us launch the show. He's the one, the only Amreeka Aala Sidhu. Make some noise, guys.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome back.
Thank you. G.Sidhu, a.k.a. Amreeka Aala Sidhu, a.k.a. the GOAT in a lot of people's eyes. Well, we're going to call you the GOAT for today, man. You came through. You drove all the way across the border to come see us, so we appreciate it. How you feeling?
Made it through the border, bro.
Yeah. Made it through the border.
Badhiya. Second time around. He was telling me that मैं ही ना दूसरा time कर रहा हूँ.
That's it. Yeah.
This is our first
one.
repeat, right?
Absolutely. And of course, I have my co-host with me. I'm Kultar Rai, host of the show. We got Jay Static to the left of me, Jyoti Dillon to the left of him. We got KSR, who's also making a return to the show. DJ KSR. Welcome, guys. How you guys all feeling?
Chilling. Good, man.
Good,
Excited
man.
to be here.
Good stuff, man. Sidhu, we're happy to have you back. Thank you for making it back here. There's a lot that's been going on in the last 5 years since we spoke to you. You are officially a doctor now. I think you were doing your residency at that time. Yeah, so let's make some noise for that, man. Dr. Salvanage. How's life in the USA? You're up in Michigan still. You're practicing now full time. How's that going?
बढ़िया चल रही है bro. Thank you so much again. I didn't realize the last time residency चलती थी. So yeah, officially I'm practicing during the weekdays. The weekends अपना चलता. So it's been going well.
You're practicing as a full-time doctor. You're writing music. You're singing music. Your music videos. You're traveling. You're performing. How you managing all this stuff?
Passion, bro. जो music passion है सो चली जाता. It just drives you. That's what it is.
Nice.
Jidi drive, you just find time for it. You make time for it. That's all it is.
Absolutely, man. They always say anybody who says I don't have time is full of shit, because I think when you want to make time for something, you end up making it, right?
Yeah, but that makes me think now. जिन्ना नु कहने time नहीं हैगा फिर
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਫੇਰ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਹੈ. Nice.
नहीं सही गल है ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ passion ਹੈ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਫਿਰ you find time, bro. You compromise sleep or other stuff.
Absolutely.
कोई तो compromise ਹੁੰਦਾ है. Yeah.
Well, thank you again for taking time to come see us. A lot to cover, and we're going to try to do it in the most the cleanest way possible. Sometimes we're the most organized podcast. You saw how we were getting set up, but 5 years have passed. You've dropped single after single, 2 EPs, if I'm not mistaken, a full album. What keeps that motivation going of track after track after track? The videos, like you've seen the progression from Candlelight is when we spoke to you last, and that was the hit, international hit. I had to write them down because there's so many of them. I'm talking about tracks like Kisan Sunde, Dance Floor, Punjabi Munde with none other than Jay Static and Fateh, Jind, Kapati. Like I said, the 2 EPs. Like where are you finding the inspiration for all this music?
Again, passion, bro. जी करता ਹੁੰਦਾ we just keep going, exploring new territories. The music we is just getting exciting day by day. Everybody's exploring new stuff. The Punjabi music we is evolving into all different genres. So you're trying to see ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ different ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. While maintaining your identity. ਕਈ ਵਾਰ struggle ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, okay, I know this is what I am, but let me try this out too. Because ਚਾਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ as a music fan, even though sometimes that could backfire.
Absolutely. There's a lot of things that you've done in your career that we want to speak about that have been like, you haven't just taken one streamlined path. It's like, you know, you've had so much success with hits like I mentioned Candlelight and all these other Credit Card and, you know, some of these tracks that you've had, but you've gone out of your comfort zone on some of these too. One of them that stood out to me was on your Amreeka Aala album. There was yourself, Jay Static, and Alap Sikandar, and you hear the electric guitar in the background. Like, it sounds like a live band is playing. That was phenomenal.
That's crazy.
I would love to hear that in a concert type setting. Have you got the chance to perform that with the live band yet?
No, I think वो लाप नाल ही सजूगा
100%.
Right. Did he actually play that guitar?
Yeah, so J Static the idea ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ. So I think it was after a gig over here. I came to the studio. ਆਪਾਂ 3-4 sample ਜੇ ਕੀਤੇ. That was one, and you came up with a rock. Based ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ. So I had like the song like thoda just the beginning part, and he was like, let's do the rock twist
and
on it.
He did like he was just trying to figure out I think were you trying to figure out a melody, and then we used that melody as the chorus or as like the drop part, or was that actually the drop part?
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਯਾਦ ਨਹੀਂ. It was like a loose idea. Yeah, loose idea ਸੀਗਾ.
And it all just
so
came.
he came and then the later on ਜਦੋਂ album ਦਾ idea ਬਣ ਗਿਆ, then you're like, why don't we get a lap on it? So ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ, you knew him, so that's how I connected with him, but he amazing. He just killed it.
Those guys and their
ਉਹਨੇ ਗਾਇਆ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ when I heard his voice, ਉਹਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. Then I was like, shit, ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਕਰਾਂ?
Oh, he actually sang? Did he sing on the track too?
Amazing. Yeah. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਸੀ ਜੇ ਕਰਨਾ feel free, because ਆਪਣਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਾ ਆਪੋ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ how you want to enter the market all that. So I was like, feel free ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ, but I understand whatever it is. But he sang it beautifully. Hopefully, yeah, if he wants, ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਸੁਣਾ ਦਾਂਗੇ ਵੀ he knows. ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਗਾਇਆ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੇ.
Wow, that's amazing.
He killed it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember hearing that too.
Because it was the second and third verse. That's what, like, the first one was done, and the second one we had like the composition was pretty much the same, but it's just the way he did it was just a little bit more smooth. It's crazy.
And it's ਉਹਦਾ ਦਾ genre ਵੀ ਆ side. That was like you said, I'm stepping out of my stuff. So, but the way he delivered that, he helped out a lot with the track. Obviously,
production. He fucking he helped with, like, we had like the dumbest down version of a rock song.
No, don't play it down, bro. It ਵੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਸੀ. It was a replica basically live. ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ. He brought it. When you play live anything, ਉਹ ਚ ਜਾਨ ਆਈ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ. The loops are loops. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, you get a concept, but so don't downplay. You brought the rock vision to life. So definitely credit ਜਿੱਥੇ due ਆ. So he definitely uplifted it. ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ live ਬਜਾਇਆ ਸਾਰਾ. ਉਹਨੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ the piece that comes in between, everybody was
crazy.
You hear that so often when a track is getting made, and then you just add a small piece, or like somebody comes in the studio and suggests something, and it just completely changes the vibe, or just adds that missing piece that you were looking for to finish off the track, right?
Bilkul.
Question, Sidhu, I had for you. When you were on last time, we talked about you with Pedli Tape, and you went the independent route. You didn't want to go and sign with a major label at that time. Is that still the case? And if yes, how's that route been for you?
Yeah, it's still the case. I think now, fast forward, I think everybody's doing that.
That's true.
So although risky ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ, but it worked out. Again, back in the day, although timing label ਨਾਲ we tried it out, but it was like, ਭਾਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਗਾਣਾ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਹੁਣ ਆਇਆ, ਕਰਦੇ 2-3 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਲੰਘ ਗਏ, but you already have other tracks lined up, so like messing up the momentum and shit.
Yeah.
So although his struggle, but I think now it's just a norm.
It's common.
So yeah, so I think ਵਧੀਆ workout ਹੋ ਗਿਆ.
Call yourself a bit of a visionary. You saw that coming almost, eh?
I don't know if I'm the first one, but I think ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ, they did it probably not in the Bhangra space, but ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ North America ਵਾਲੇ ਸੀਗੇ, they were doing it. ਆਪਣਾ Mickey ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, Prophecy ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, but there was a different genre. ਪਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਵੀ ਦੇਸੀ ਸਟਾਈਲ, ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, I guess. Yeah.
And you'd say like the biggest positive out of it is you have most control out of your music. You can make a track, you can release it tomorrow. Nobody really kind of is middlemanning it, and then of course the financial side has got to be better too. I can imagine, no?
ਹਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਉਹਦੀ downside ਇਹ ਆ, if you have like a barrier, they were like, you sure you want to put this out? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਗਾਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੇਰੰਗ ਕੀਤਾ ਵਾ, ਹਨਾ, so artist ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ I want to explore this creative side. Sometimes that doesn't make sense commercially.
Yeah.
Because in my brain I could be like, I understand, ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ this is what I gotta do, but am I putting myself in a box just because audience ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਹੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ? I know ਕੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ ਜੋ work ਕੀਤਾ, but then it's like ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ, if I'm not be going just for be be just cash in, just momentum, ye wo. I want to grow karna ਵਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ candlelight ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਗਾਣੇ ਕੀਤੇ I didn't say ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਹੀ follow ਕਰਨਾ ਵਾ. So sometimes it is a risky situation where if you want to grow but you don't want to put yourself in certain walls be just because people are saying ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਆਹੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ. ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਅੰਦਰ ਉਹ frustration ਜਿਹੀ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਮੈਂ ਹੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਰਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਵਾ. But then even if some other stuff may work or may not work, but you still bring back, I guess, some part of it back in with your main ethos and just continue forward. ਜੇ main road ਤੱਕ ਹੀ ਆ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ detour ਜੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ learning experience ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ it may not be as visible ਪਰ ਉਹ subtle ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਵੇ. So it's part of the growth, but you got to be careful ਵੀ ਜੇ business wise ਦੇਖਣਾ ਵਾ ਵੀ how much you want to. So that's going back to the question, sometimes having a second layer could be beneficial. Be like, you sure be with somebody who's not as artistically thinking be nahi main karna. So it has its own pros and cons. Barely, definitely has been lots of pros.
I think though you reached a point where you can experiment because you put out hits already. So for you to do it, I think it's easier now. And then I feel like people's attention span's so short now that even if you do it and it doesn't work, you can have that other song ready to go, like, you know, and you have that control. You don't have to wait 2-3 months. So you put something out, didn't work, have another song ready, and people will just move on.
I'm curious, what did you learn? Like, if you put out a song, say I'm just throwing it out there, but like you put out Candlelight and then you put out hip hop, like a hip hop style song. Say that didn't go where you thought it was going to go. What did you learn? What did you ever take back from that? And you're like, okay, I'm going to put this into the next song or take it to the next song. Was there anything you ever took along the way? Any failures that you were like, you know what? This didn't work, but I know why, and I'm going to put it into the next song, see where else it goes.
Yeah, 100%. Again, failure commercially ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ if you view me in a certain light ਵੀ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਸੱਜਦੇ ਵੀ for example, so ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਪਰ for me maybe it's like the ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੁਣ is growing in all different genres. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੀ western ਆ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵੀ there's a rap side, there's more the lyrical side, but there's vocal side. You try to find be okay ਕਿੱਥੇ you trying to be careful, I don't want to be just stuck in my ways, ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਹੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਵਾ but miss the boat, like the evolution of it, be ਉਹ ਵੀ try ਕਰੀ ਜਾਓ. Sometimes it's hit and miss, risk ਲੈਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਆ. ਤੇ the stuff you take back is obviously ਜੇ ਲਾ ਲਓ ਵੀ ਸਰਕਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੱਕ, some people got naturally this part of the pie, some people got naturally this part of the pie. Wherever you start, you end up finding the other part. ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ romantic family ਵਾਲੇ style ਜਾਂ ਵੀ positive music ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ, then you end up, when you want to grow, then you have to go into different territories. ਜਾਂ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ gangster ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਇਆ ਵਾ, eventually they end up coming to the pop side or your side because everybody's trying to grow.
Yeah.
ਕਿਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. So when you're trying to do that, ਉੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ sometimes risk ਦਾ ਲੈਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਹੀ ਆ.
100%.
Yeah, ਹਨਾ?
Anytime you take a step out of your comfort zone, I think it's a risk, a big risk. If you're in a bigger limelight as an artist who's just starting out, you can kind of take those chances. You can do different things. But if anybody's listened to your catalog, I think that it goes to say that you've taken a lot of risks. Like you know, I was obviously listening to a lot of your music before the show, and you can't say that too many songs sound the same. And there's some tracks that you've actually changed completely the way that you sound even on the track, which is it really impressive and shows that you're willing to take some of those chances just to create a different sound, right?
Yeah, they again it's connected. Yeah, what do I take back? Be lyrically, it's evolving into a exciting stuff. So you bring back those kind of stuff. We explore karke lyrically. Be idda cheezaਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ then you try to bring it back to your style. Things like ਹੁਣ EPIM members only ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. So there are subtle things audience ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲੂਗਾ, ਪਰ if you compare to ਜੋ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ, there will be some difference ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ. ਜਿਵੇਂ EP 'ਚ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਬੇਰੰਗ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹ ਟਰਾਈ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਦੋਂ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ. The other track is ਜਿਵੇਂ ਫੂਡ ਚੇਨ ਸੀ, ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ EP ਕੀਤੀ ਹੁਣੇ folk and trap 2 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ. Again, ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਰਿਸਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਊਂਗਾ, I may not explore that as much. ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ it was a interesting idea ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਬਈ it's a concept of food chain, ਬਈ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ
Yeah.
just to climb the ladder you're gonna do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a story of two characters, and if when the track ends, if you start it again, it's like a 360 again. The story starts
Oh, nice.
with like as a food chain. ਵੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇੱਕ character ਹੁੰਦਾ, the people who have the power, they obviously manipulate ਜਿਹੜੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਨੇ, who are seeking some power, so they give that kind of bait. Then what happens is when whoever is the leader becomes too dangerous for the ones in power,
Mm-hmm.
now they got to find somebody else within the same person to now give them the bait, like enu chak. Then as the music shifts, that's the rise of the new character, like I don't give a shit, ene jo marji kitta itte koi nahi para apru ye wo, so I'm gonna go. But in the end it ends like there's a third person who ends up taking him out. But if you start again, it's again the cycle repeating
It's a
again.
circle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what चीज़ें इन्ना कई बार commercially, but when you explore different things like that, you bring it back to okay, मेरी where people appreciate me the most is be थोड़ा भी urban folk Punjabi style ਨਾਲ, which I love. Naturally ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਵੀ ਆ. At parts it was be like ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ, but then you realize ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ natural ਹੁੰਦੀ is just your years of journey, that's why it comes easily. But sometimes ਬੰਦਾ confused ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵੀ ਇੰਨਾ easy ਹੁੰਦਾ, maybe let me try something else ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਜੀ feel ਹੋਵੇ.
Yeah.
But
True.
but it
100%.
similarly happened ਉਹ ਹੁਣੇ unfollow ਗਾਣਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ intense ਨਾਲ EP ਚ. So I was like, I don't know bro, I was like, this is just like so predictable, but he like ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਆ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਕਰ ਹੈ. So that I was like, okay, makes sense. I think just because certain things comes to me naturally doesn't mean
Not
we
a bad thing.
yeah. It's just ਵੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ work ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ through ਨਿਕਲਦਾ ਵਾ ਵੀ that's why certain things are just ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣਾ passion ਦਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ music ਹੀ ਆ.
Yeah.
So it's natural, but then ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ overthink ਕਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਈ ਬਾਕਸ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਮੈਂ grow ਕਰਨਾ ਇਹ. So it's just
I was gonna say,
Boosa, yeah.
I was saving the EP for a little later, but since you already mentioned it, let's talk about that EP. Fantastic, man. It's just you and Intense, 4 tracks, and it's interesting to me how you take a little bit of a journey, and each track is its own kind of vibe. Like not one track is the same as the other. You start with like a straight West Coast vibe. I swear that track reminds me of Tupac, I'd Rather Be Your Nigga. I don't know if Intense purposely took that kind of vibe, but you go from there to my favorite track on the EP, which is Chalemundia. I'm saying it wrong. So forgive me.
That was good.
Yeah.
good bro, it's
And
no
then-
monkey.
It's not monkey juice.
I'm never gonna outlive Monkey Juice, I don't think. Eh? But and then you go into a little bit more of like I'll call it a Senti track on the third one. I had it written down. It starts with a B.
Yeah, Bayman.
Bayman, yeah, and then the track that you just mentioned, which is like a Pungra banger, the Unfollow track. So, what was the process working with Intense? Why did you choose Intense, or did he choose you? And like, how many tracks did you make? Walk us through that process.
We were always in talks ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹਨਾ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਜਾਂ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਕੁਛ. So last year earlier ਉਹਦੇ friend ਦੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਦੇ ਮੈਂ perform ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ, so he was there. So ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਅਸੀਂ just linked up in the hotel, like we were like ਹੁਣ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਕੁਛ. ਤੇ then ਇੱਕ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਕੇ ਬਾਅਦ he sent me, yo, this song is ਤੇਰੇ vocally ਤੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਣੇ, ਵੀ ਦੇਖੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆ. So that was ਛੱਲੇ ਮੁੰਦੀਆ. It's supposed to come out last year.
Yeah.
So ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ, delay ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. So ਇੱਕ ਗਾਣਾ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ. So I was like, ਕੱਢ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ. ਤੇ he was like, ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਗਾਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਹੁਣ ਅਗਲੇ winter ਆ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, he wanted to put it in summer. ਤੇ he was like ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਅਗਲੇ ਸਾਲ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਏਡਾ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਣਾ, ਵੀ it's not a trend based song. ਤੇ we linked up again, so he was like ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ 2-3 ਗਾਣੇ ਹੋਰ EP ਵਾਂਗੂ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ. So it just happened last minute. July ਚ I think ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੀਗਾ. So within few weeks the other 3 got wrapped up. ਤੇ ਬਸ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ.
Was there other tracks that didn't make the cut, or whatever you guys made basically made the EP?
ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਹੋਰ ਸੀਗੇ, but it was just beginning loose concept ਸੀਗੇ.
Nice.
So the other ones just ended up finding the way. Yeah.
Nice. And the title Members Only, is that just kind of like something you guys came up with, or does it have a deeper meaning to it?
Yeah, deeper meaning ਤਾਂ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. But yeah, that was the track Members Only.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it made sense with that too. ਵੀ ਉਹ ਵਧੀਆ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ. Members Only, the track is about friendship, valuing people ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਧੀਆ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਤੇ make sure you take out time for them, and I was back and forth ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ. So just celebrating the positive. ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਰਤਾ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕਰਤਾ. just let's just value ਜੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਤੇੜੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ. why don't we just put some energy into that? ਉਹ ਆਪਾਂ neglect ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ naturally ਬਹੁਤ.
I think anybody who follows G.Sidhu on Instagram or whatever social media platform can tell that's usually your vibe. It's like you never get anger out of you. You never get like negativity. It's more like, guys, you know, if you're misconstruing what's going on, like the wrestling video that you threw out there.
I was gonna say anger. The last video
people
was
started
different,
promoting it. No, you're promoting violence. It's like, come on, it's a music video. You know, in this day and age, anything that you do, people are trying to pick it apart and trying to make it something it's not. And your response is always coordinated, calculated, calm. Like, how do you keep that composure when everybody's trying to pick apart and trying to find negativity in you?
I think culture ਇਹ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ
Cancel
just
culture.
ਉਹ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ they're the ones who are most reactive, so it seems like ਉਹੀ ਨੇ. ਪਰ people reach out all the time, bro, with positive stuff. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਮੈਸੇਜ they're not the ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ mature ਨੇ, they're not the ones like ਤੇਰੀ ਭੈਣ ਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਫਲਾਣਾ ਤੇ I don't think anybody of us woke up ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਕੱਢੀ ਜਾਣੀ ਰੋਜ਼ ਹੀ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ. so they're ਉਹ ਪਰ ਉਹ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਥੋੜੀ ਵੀ ਆਊਟ ਸ਼ੈਡੋ ਜੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ because they're not responsive ones, but ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨੇ compared to the ones who just respond ਥੋੜੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਲਈ. so ਉਹ ਵੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲਦਾ, ਪਰ so that's why they just get highlighted.
Just as an artist as well, you end up feeling the negative ones more.
ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. ਹੁਣ ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ 100 ਚੋਂ ਜੇ ਇੱਕ ਜਾਣਾ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ then it kind of makes you think ਵੀ is there something ਵੀ ਕੁਛ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ. but then again ਜੇ just gotta follow your gut, bro, at the end of the day. wrestling ਵਾਲੀ ਵੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਸੀਗੀ ਵੀ I knew most of ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀਗੇ who understood the concept ਵੀ they were fine, they loved the idea. Obviously it's like a spin-off, like a bit of a comedy take ਜੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਲੜ ਪਏ ਯਾਰ ਆਪਸ ਚ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ you take it to the ring and just fight it out, but you learn there's certain audience be they just take it exactly ਵੀ ਐਂ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਐਂ ਆ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ wrestler ਬਣ ਗਿਆ.
KSR pointed it out that somebody gave him you know, a little bit of a headache or shit or whatever about us having bottles on the table, and it's like you're promoting alcohol. It's like, no, we're not. You know, I might have a beer while we're on the show, I might not. He has coffee in his cup. Like, you know, it's just you can make whatever you want into a negative spin, but at the end of the day, as long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're not, you know, trying to do damage purposefully, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, bro. The only reason I had to like clarify, like, I understand I'm not a wrestler. ਤੇ then the others, it's ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੈਕ ਹੋਮ ਚੋਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਈ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਆਪਸ ਚ ਫਰੈਂਡਸ ਲੜ ਪਏ ਇਹ ਕਹੀ ਯਾਰੀ ਦੋਸਤੀ, it's too concrete ਬਈ. and most of the people get it, but sometimes ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਉਹ
keyboard warriors,
they kind of like they kind of build their own narrative, and sometimes you gotta like put a stop to it. Most of the people get it, but like okay bas karo. You just gotta clarify, mainu pata main wrestler nahi ga, this is a little bit of, I didn't realize being not abstract idea hoga. I thought it was pretty straightforward. But most of the people got it, but jede hage si ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ clarify ਕਰਨਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ.
And that's also a decision you make consciously to even direct your attention towards those people. Some guys, like, you know, they won't even address it. It could become the biggest thing and you'll never hear them say anything about it. What makes you want to go out of your way to actually address it, even though you know that's a small percentage of the people out there?
I think ਜਿਵੇਂ social media ਚ ਜਿਵੇਂ it's just weird,
the
ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ weird ਜੀ world ਜੀ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ. It's like everybody has a voice, which is good, but then ਉਹੀ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਜੇ 15-20 ਮੂਰਖ ਹੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਜਾਣਗੇ, if you let ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਮ ਬੰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ they don't have as much time ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ family ਵਾਲੇ they're like oh ਅੱਛਾ ਇਹਨੇ ਐਂ ਕਹਤਾ, so they start getting influenced too. So sometimes you just gotta ਜਦੋਂ ਲੋੜ ਆ just correct it. No, this is how I meant it to be, not just what you're making to be, because then ਉਹ become ਉਹ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵੀ ਲੋਕੀ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵੀ, but you gotta correct that shit, like ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਹੀ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਵਾ, ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਏਦਾਂ ਵਾ ਇਹ, that's it.
It's crazy how like you gotta explain yourself so much, and it's like I didn't even think anything negative. I'm like, oh, sick, wrestling, you know, like I watch wrestling and I wouldn't even think somebody would talk bad about it. Like
no one's done that before.
I'm like, oh, sick, you know, like it's just it's creative and it's different, and like otherwise you're gonna be like, oh, you're doing the same thing again and again, right? Like same kind of video, and then like you try something different. And
sometimes I don't even think you should explain stuff. I think if people are, no offense, too dumb to understand that it's a a creative thing or a vision thing or something, fuck it. Why explain it?
People are gonna go off on you for saying that.
Yeah, good. Whatever.
No, it's true though. Like it's art. Why do you have to explain art?
I don't think you should. Not that I don't think you should. If you need to, you do it. But like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people are
Jay nahi samjhte
don't
na
get it.
dekho na suno. That's all. Right?
Where does your interest? I mean, I can relate to it because we grew up watching. Were you the same way? High school, later a big wrestling fan?
Yeah, bro. 100%.
Who's your favorite wrestler? All-time favorite wrestler? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Nice. If you those that are listening, he clapped the beers together and gave the middle. Yeah, you guys saw it. Watch the show, you'll see it. I know Kamal's a big fan of wrestling. All-time favorite?
Stone Cold's up there for me too.
Yeah, I'm Ultimate Warrior. That's my all-time favorite. Yeah. How about you, JJ?
I'm actually Ultimate Warrior, but I've always been a fan of the Bushwhackers.
Oh,
yeah,
legendary.
man. I don't know why. I think this is sick.
Jyoti, you got an all-time favorite?
100%. The Rock, man.
The Rock. Okay,
bro.
that's it. Yeah, age shows up. Maybe I shouldn't say that. The Rock. Getting back to even what you mentioned earlier, members only. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ. Somebody that you've always kept it close with, production-wise, is Urban King. That's your New York connection. You guys have continued to make music together. Is that like your comfort place of like when you get with him, it's just a good vibe, or how does that work?
Yeah, ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ naturally, so ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ just know ਵੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਆ ਦੇਖੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ and it usually works out pretty good. So ਉਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ, so ਰੱਬ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਹੀ, so it always works out. We've been doing it for years now ਹੁਣ ਤੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ.
Super talented kid.
Yeah.
Is he a kid still? I guess he is.
Yeah,
Yeah, now he's older, but he was a kid. A super talented guy, man.
Is there music that I'm missing from Urban? Because I know a lot of tracks with Sidhu, but has he done work with other artists as well?
He ਕੀਤੇ ਆ ਉਹਨੇ. The only thing is ਵੀ ਉਹ he went through a phase ਵੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵਾ, trying to grow personally, family life, school graduate ਕਰਦਾ, college finance ਫਲਾਣਾ ਤੇ ਮਕਾ.
ਉਹ ਵੀ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਹੀ ਹੈ? ਉਹ ਵੀ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਤਾਂ
ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹਨੇ finance ਦਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਵਾ. Yeah, stocks ਟੂਗੀਆਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ.
ਫਿਰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੈਸੇ ਬਣਦੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ music ਦਾ.
Yeah, exactly.
On the back burner, yeah.
So I'm the only one who like ਕਰ. So ਇੱਧਰ deadline ਜੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. So I guess ਜੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਪਾਊਗਾ ਇੱਧਰ ਹੋਰ ਪਰਸਨਲੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ I think he'll definitely be able to do it, just because I'm just reaching out to him ਆ ਕਰ ਮੇਰੇ with my project, so that's why he ends up doing more with mine.
And he plays a lot of instruments too, man.
Does he?
Like by himself, he just plays them and figures it out.
Wow, just naturally gifted musician.
Yeah.
ਭੰਗੜਾ ਟੀਮ ਚ ਆ, so you build up ਇਹ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ intuition ਜੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ.
Yeah.
So
what team was he on?
That's our New York tradition. Yeah.
Nice. You know, you mentioned that he's got that full-time gig of stocks. You as a doctor, do you ever think maybe subconsciously that the career path is holding you back from, you know, accelerating even more in the music industry?
ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਵਾ ਇਹ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. So ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹੁਣ the way I've done things are like I'm trying to squish a lot in my medical stuff. ਥੋੜੇ ਕੁ weekdays ਪਰ like long hours, but then have more time music ਲਈ ਵੀ. So ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਦਿਮਾਗ, ਪਰ then again music ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ just natural process ਜੀ ਆ ਨਾ enjoy ਕਰਨ ਦੀ. So far it's going well. It hasn't been as much of a time conflict. ਕਈ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ there are other things ਜਿਹ 'ਚ ਆਪਾਂ grow ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ, but I don't think it's related to the ਇੱਦਾਂ. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ I think a unique position ਹੈ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ, ਇਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ I was able to come up ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਾਨ, suicide awareness track ਇੱਦਾਂ. So try to see it in a positive light rather than ਜੇ ਮੇਰੀ struggle ਵੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਵੀ conflict ਆ, what's the positive rather than seeing ਵੀ ਇਹ ਮੇਰੇ negative ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਛੱਡ ਦਵਾਂ, ਇੱਕ ਛੱਡਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਰਾਂ ਉਹ ਕਰਾਂ. So then viewing it as if it's like a unique situation, ਇਹ 'ਚੋਂ positive ਕੀ ਨਿਕਲ ਸਕਦਾ. So that's was the beginning of ਆਪਣੀ ਜਾਨ track, which ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ appreciate ਕੀਤਾ.
Love
and
that song.
Thank you, bro. They recently so we're gonna announce it soon. ਇੱਥੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ international film festival, so the music video got selected for that too.
Oh wow.
Like best aware social ਮੇਰੇ exact title ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਦ, social impact
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Let's make
Oh,
some
that's
noise for
crazy.
that, man.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
thank you,
Good
thank you.
stuff.
Really good. Good for
Thank
you.
you.
That's
Nice.
well deserved.
You've always stepped, like we mentioned earlier, out of your comfort zone with music like that. Like even with Urban King, you have that Baba Nanak track that's like, out of the norm for.
ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਅਰਬਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਆ ਉਹ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਦਾ
Oh, that's
I
not
know,
Urban
yeah.
King. Okay. Urban Singh.
Yeah, Urban Singh.
I just saw
Urban
Urban and just thought
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So,
It's just so
Yeah.
similar, yeah.
did you feel, any sort of nerves when you're putting out something like that? Because it's, it's obviously related to religion, and you're always worried about, how people are going to receive that. What was your thoughts when putting something like that out?
ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ positive ਹੀ ਹੈ yeah negative ਉਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ it's just gonna impact your commercial momentum, that's all.
Like I remember,
ਜੋ ਜੀ ਕਰਦਾ
was it Sidhu Moosewala when he released that Jiona More track? There was backlash about that, and like I feel like any time that it's something related to culture or close to religion, there's always the fundamentalists who like, oh, why would you mention that on a track, or why would you speak about something like that in that type of tone? Looking at it, you would say like when I heard the track, fantastic, great, beautiful track, but you would think that maybe you're worried a little bit about what somebody might say. But again, you being a writer, I'm sure you know exactly what you're writing there.
first of all, rest in peace
Yes,
Sidhu Moosewala.
absolutely.
ਤੇ regarding that thing too, I think it comes back to the same ਜੋ ਆਪਾਂ wrestling ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ. There's an audience ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ is going to take it at the concrete level ਤੇ that was more like abstract reference ਸੀਗੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ in a different light. I could understand ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ feeling hurt ਕਿਉਂ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ as the visually they were upset ਵੀ ਤੇ again it just ਇਹ ਰਹਿਣੀਆਂ ਹੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ. You just gotta be aware and pick your battles. ਇੱਕ audience ਹੈਗੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ face value ਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ audience ਹੈਗੀ who are able to see beyond that. You gotta find the healthy balance. ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਪਣੀ beauty ਆ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ value ਆ. So you gotta ਇੱਕ ਇਹ side ਆ they're more into like ਬਾਈ ਨੇ ਐਨਕ ਲਾਈ, ਬਾਈ ਨੇ ਐਂ ਲੁੱਕ ਦਿੱਤੀ, ਐਂ ਦਿੱਤੀ, so ਉਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਸ ਹੈ. ਇੱਕ audience ਹੈਗੀ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਟਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੀ but what's underneath that. So you gotta just find the healthy balance, yeah.
And I'm sorry I keep bombarding you with all the controversy. There was none when you came 5 years ago. There's been so much, and like you said, we live in a time now where everybody's just picking apart stuff. Something I saw you speak on was someone you did a track with recently as well, Naseeb, and you guys spoke about the pug and the representation of a pug and how it seems as if every artist is now trying to tie a pug because it might get you more fame, better audience, whatever. What was your mindset of speaking on that issue? Because it was targeted towards Naseeb, and you kind of stood up for him there.
Yeah. I think a theme ji hoyi ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਉਹੀ audience ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ. So this is apart from ਵੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਜੋ controversy ਚੱਲਦੀ has nothing to do with that. So ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਵਾ ਵੀ there was another situation which I could go into ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਸੀ it's ਇੱਕ ਵੀ ਲੋਕੀ ਜਦੋਂ whoever feuding with each other ਵੀ ਆਪਸ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਚੱਲਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ but it gets to the point ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ are looking for ਹੁਣ ਜੋ just listening for ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮਾੜੀ ਜੀ ਕਹਿ ਦੇਵੇ unless I'll blow it out of context, even though it may be questioning ਵੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਪੱਗ ਦੀ ਵੈਲਿਊ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇਰੀ ਕੋਈ ਜਸਟ ਤੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਤਾ now we're gonna say ਤੇਰੀ ਪੱਗ ਬੰਨਣ ਦਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. same thing happened ਵੀ I think ਜਦੋਂ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਟਰੂ ਸਕੂਲ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਵੀ ਉਹ the thing is ਜਿਹੜੀ social media audience ਆ ਵੀ we understand fan bases ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, all cult stuff, all that stuff is there, but it shouldn't get to the point. It always does, but that's where I'm like,
what happened with True School? I didn't see.
So it's like we shouldn't get to the point where you start now pulling each other down just because of where your culture, yeah, thodi values are at risk. You're defaming that just because to feel like, okay, our side is winning now, na? So apna Naseeb nu main personally ta nahi janda. We had our interaction with the song Pinda Wale video shoot te sige.
Great song.
Yeah, thank you bro. ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਹੀ ਵਾਸ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੱਗਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਤੇ I was so excited. That was his. I was excited too. ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ played his upcoming track ਉਦੋਂ ਆਉਣਾ ਸੀ I think ਅਕਾਲ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ ਸੋ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਉਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਵੀ ਪੱਗਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ but then he made a comment about ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਪੱਗ ਦਾ but it was out of context. I didn't mean ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਪੱਗ ਬੰਨ੍ਹਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਲਈ but obviously ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਉਸ ਕੰਨ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਵੀ let me just find something to blow it out of proportion like ਉਹ ਤੂੰ ਪੱਗ ਹੀ ਤਾਂ ਬੰਨ੍ਹਦਾ ਵਾ ਇਹ ਪਰ ਜੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ you should like pay attention to other stuff ਜੋ ਵਧੀਆ ਪੱਗ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਵੀ so Mike yeah so it's like just because I want to bring you down I'm gonna also question ਤੇਰੀ values ਕੀ ਆ ਤੇਰੀ ਪੱਗ ਕੀ ਆ ਤੇਰੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਕੀ ਆ just because for the online so that just seems stupid to me ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਛ ਕਹਿ ਦੇਵਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਕਹੇ ਤੇਰੀ ਪੱਗ ਲਾ ਇਹ ਉਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਲਾਵਾਂ ਮੈਂ who are you to tell me so so same thing I knew ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਕੱਢਣੀਆਂ ਨੇ but it's okay be going back to the true school thing I think album ਹੋਣੀ ਸੀਗੀ back the fuck up
oh yeah with Karan Aujla
yeah so again a feud ਚੱਲਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ there
oh you're talking with Karan and Sidhu
yeah feud ਵੀ the thing is ਵੀ feud ਜਦੋਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ obviously finding ways to hate each other ਹਨਾ ਵੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ point ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹਦਾ hate ਕਰਾਂ but it got to the point ਵੀ ਇਹ ਕਿ ਸਾਲੇ ਢੋਲ ਹੀ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰਬੀ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ so it's to the point I could compromise my own culture and curse my own culture curse my own values just to prove a point and win so it's like fuck is going on
yeah I get what you're saying it's like without saying it in so many words when there's two artists that are feuding and you're on one side of it and you know obviously you know rest in peace Sidhu Moosewala he has a huge fan base and if people are on that side of things if you say anything you know people are going to pick you apart and they say like even in hip hop you have the you know the Beyonce or Nicki Minaj or the you know whoever they have a huge following and if you say anything against them the crowds will come after you in the comments and your shows and whatever try to make your life hell kind of thing you know?
And again just because ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ doesn't mean ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ support ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿਸੇ artist ਨੂੰ let's just not put somebody else ਵੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ just because ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਕੱਢਣ ਵਾਲੇ doesn't mean ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤਕੜੇ fan ਬਣ ਗਏ ਵੀ I've reached out to all the artists ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵਾ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਆਪਣਾ so ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ music ਦਾ fan ਆ before anybody else ਹੈ ਨਾ so ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ excite ਕਰਦਾ ਉਸ ਆਪਣੀ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਦੇਈਦੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ and so that doesn't mean ਵੀ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਹੱਕ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਨੀਵਾਂ ਦਿਖਾਉਂਦਾ ਵਾ just because you're like cursing just to prove a point doesn't mean ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਲੇ ਤਕੜੇ ਫੈਨ ਆ ਵੀ you got the right it's just
and it's happening more and more now too
it's just like ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਮੋਢੇ ਤੋਂ ਬੰਦੂਕ ਚਲਾਉਣੀ ਵੀ ਮਿਲ ਗਈ ਵੀ we got a shield with people you know we are not going to say much to be use this kind of shield social shield ਇਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲੋਕ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਕੱਢਦੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ but again you gotta pick your battles and I've only spoken ਵੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰਾ personal connection ਰਿਹਾ ਵਾ just to clarify like okay ਐਡੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ though again if you let a certain narrative build ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਦੀ ਹੁਣ ਟਾਈਮ 'ਚ
it's just
sometimes you gotta just like
it's all like black and white now it's like
there's no gray
no I think it was bigger you to stand up sorry go ahead
no I'm like speaking on that it literally is only black and white when you watch anything and it comments whatever it is you only see two sides you know the people who are in the gray do not message don't say anything they're literally just enjoying everything like you can be a fan of Sidhu and Karan you can be a fan of whatever you want and enjoy all the music and I think most of us DJs are in this kind of boat like we might like certain songs or certain people more than others but we don't hate songs or hate people just
I think that's the
just
big
because
thing,
you like the music if the music comes out and you like it you don't like it you don't like it that's it
just it ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹੀ ਆ ਕੰਮ I guess social media now they just got different voices but sometimes you just gotta and like you said ਜਿਹੜੇ gray zone ਵਾਲੇ they're on the mature side but they're not ਵੀ like I said ਆਪਣੇ ਚ ਕੋਈ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਭੈਣ ਦੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਵਾ they're just like they're silent observers but it doesn't mean ਵੀ ਉਹ support ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨਾ
we're just reading the comments
I swear anything comes out
we had
there's two meme accounts you just go in
you call me Jyoti Dylan
oh sorry
remember that comment
oh yeah
someone's like ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਣੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ he said Dylan
ਆਉਂਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਬੋਲ ਲਈ ਦੀ
ਆ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਜੇ ਚੱਲ ਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਫਿਰ ਕੀ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਲਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਵੀ ਉਹੀ ਆ ਆਹ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੀ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਕਰੀਦੀ BBC ਨਾਲ ਕਰੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਆ ਸੋ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮਾਂ ਬੋਲੀ the only ones who are saying is ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ they're like oh beats ਕੀ ਆ which is fine but don't be like a hypocritical ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਲਚਰ ਆ ਵੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਆ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ you don't appreciate it ਜਦੋਂ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ we're thinking about the west side UK ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ Punjab unfortunately is not the primary thing when you think about Bhangra banger ਬਣਾਉਣਾ, right?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
So ਕਿੱਡੀ ਮਾੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, but then you're the first ones to say yo ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਸਗੋਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਏ but they're still appreciating that ਪੰਜਾਬੀ sound.
Yeah.
Straight.
Good.
That's
Good
mad.
point.
Me,
Yeah.
Punjabi
Absolutely.
sucks. I love listening to it. I
Yeah.
love making Bhangra songs. That's all I
Yeah.
want to make.
ਬਸ ਫਿਰ
Yeah, one guy that comes to mind when it comes to that is someone who mixed the Western world and Punjabi music in a big way and has, you know, will be forever legendary for it is Big Bird that you had an EP with. What brought you together? Toronto's very own Big Bird, you know, done crazy music with Sidhu Musewara. Obviously, that's what he's mostly known for. But what brought that connection together that made you guys kind of take that adventure on that EP, which was a great EP?
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਬ్రో. ਅਸੀਂ ਟੱਚ 'ਚ ਸੀਗੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ. ਮਾਲਟਨ ਹੋਣਾ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਬਾਅਦ 'ਚ ਚਲੋ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਮਾਲਟਨ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਡੇਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਸ਼ਾਊਟ ਆਊਟ ਟੂ ਹਿਮ ਟੂ. ਸੋ SGPD 'ਚ ਉਹ SGPD 'ਚ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿਰਸਾ ਸੋਈ ਯੂਜ਼ ਟੂ ਉਦੋਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ. ਸੋ ਦੇ ਵਰ ਇਨ ਟੱਚ ਉਦੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਟੇਪ ਦੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਸੀ. ਸੋ ਇਟ ਵਾਜ਼ਨਟ ਫॉर ਮੀ, ਇਟ ਵਾਜ਼ਨਟ ਫਿਟਿੰਗ ਇਨ. ਬਟ ਦੈਨ ਵਨ ਆਈ ਰੀਚਡ ਆਊਟ ਆਪਣਾ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਅਮਰੀਕੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਐਲਬਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਲਿਮਿਟਡ ਐਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ. reached out to Bird. So ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ ਉਹ whatever it is. Then that's how me and Bird connected. ਵੀ limited edition ਕਰਕੇ so he was like ਵੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ drill beat ਤੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਵਾਂ ਚੱਲਦਾ. So that was his idea. So ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਿਆ, ਉਹ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਧੀਆ ਬਣ ਗਈ, ਉਹਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਿਆ. So that then ਮੇਰੀ ਤੇ Bird ਦੀ ਵੀ ਫਿਰ ਵਧੀਆ relationship ਬਣ ਗਈ ਆਪਸ 'ਚ where I'm able to again try different things. He's able to now ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਗਲਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਆਉਣਾ like full on ਭੰਗੜਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਬਿਗ ਬਰਡ ਨਾਲ, ਉਹਨੇ ਕਦੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ. ਸੋ ਵੀ ਅਗੇਨ ਉਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਵਰਲਡਸ ਜੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆਪਸ 'ਚ. ਸੋ ਅਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. ਸਮ ਟਾਈਮ ਇਟ ਟੇਕਸ ਲਿਟਲ ਬਿਟ ਆਫ ਟ੍ਰਾਇਲ ਐਂਡ ਐਰਰ.
That's coming soon, you're saying?
ਹਾਂ
That's what I know. Is it like hard 808s and Bhangra?
808 ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਉਹ 'ਚ.
Damn. That's crazy.
Tribute to Jazzy B. OG Jazzy B. Tribute this next
OG.
one.
Yeah. You know what? I was listening back to one of our old episodes, and you were talking about one of Jazzy B being one of your biggest inspirations. Still, I'm guessing that's true. Have you ever got a chance to work with him, meet with him?
ਮਿਲੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ, I think it was last year. Yeah.
That would be a pretty cool collab
Yeah.
to hear Jazzy and G.Sidhu together. I'd be excited to hear
that. Yeah, hopefully. So yeah, again, yeah, Jazzy B, Sukhshinder Shanda, Diljit ਭਾਜੀ, ਇਹ ਤਿੰਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ. Now ਉਸਤਾਦ ਆਪਣਾ True School ਵੀ. So ਇਹ ਚਾਰ ਜਣੇ who has like impacted a lot. Funny thing is, let me
True School.
ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਡਰਾਈਵ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ, Jazzy B related story ਆ. So I was like, let me go back into ਨਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ Jazzy B song. ਤੇ ਸੁਰਮਾ ਐਲਬਮ ਸੀਗੀ.
Where's DJ M when you need him? We'll name every track.
So it was like, for some reason it's not on Apple Music. They were like, let me pull it up on YouTube. ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਲਾਇਆ ਪਾਇਆ ਕਰੋ ਗਾਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਨਾ.
Oh yeah.
See the first thing?
Yeah.
Let me pull it back. So ਇਹ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਈ ਸਕੂਲ 'ਚ ਵਾਲਪੇਪਰ ਬਣਾਏ Jazzy B ਦਾ. And so ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਸਰ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ, ਤੇ ਕੁਦਰਤੀ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਵੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਲਿਖਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ.
On YouTube?
I know. This is like back in the day. I'm like, that's some crazy shit.
What does it say?
It says G.Sidhu.
Oh, what?
He made it.
Yeah.
You made that wallpaper.
Yeah, ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਉਦਾਂ ਨਾਂ ਲਿਖਤਾ ਸੀ as a ਵੀ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਆਰਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ. Hey, this is like back in high school. So I was playing last night.
Media arts class.
I was driving. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ I was like deja vu. ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ poster. Then I saw my name. I was like, what the?
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
Did you mention that to him when you?
No, ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਰਾਤ ਹੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ. Hey, I didn't even know it was there. ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਸੁਰਮਾ ਐਲਬਮ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ.
Look at that.
ਤੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਕਰੋ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਵੀ. I was like, some crazy shit.
That's awesome.
That's huge, man. Jazzy B, absolute legend. Been waiting to get that guy back on the show in a proper setting. Jazzy B, we always give him a big shout out. He was one of our first guests in our first season. We went all the way out to BC and we did it in like a basement. Shout out to Harj Nagra. Yeah, in his basement on like a plastic fold out table. Jazzy ne apna cha da cup rakhiya siga and like
phone cameras and stuff.
Yeah, we couldn't even get the video out because we were just beginners at that time. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. But shout out to Jazzy B, and we got to bring him back, man. Absolutely.
And 30 years respect.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Next
And-
ਗਾਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ
so
ਵੀ
sick.
ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ, that's a tribute to him.
nice.
Surprise ਹੋਣਾ Big Bird ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀ. You won't expect this track from him.
Love it. Yeah.
And
Different sound.
speaking about, you know, just appreciating our artists, this show, I was inspired to create this show because of one of, you know, these artists that I love, Noriega out of hip hop. So it's a completely different industry, but that was what inspired me to create this show and say that, you know what, there's a space in the Punjabi industry that's missing, that has a gap, and bringing artists together to speak about their stories and having conversation like we are. I was inspired by Noriega and DJ EFN, and something that I've been inspired by them lately, and, you know, shout out to Shop by Dolo, he helped with this idea, was, you know, Noriega, what he does is he likes to give flowers out to his you know, artists that come by out of appreciation. They say ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਚਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ, we always remember them, we want to, you know, give all their praises after they're gone, but what about showing appreciation while those people are still here today?
100%.
And
Hell
you know,
yeah.
Nori's thing is to hand out flowers, and so we wanted to create a new thing. It's the first time on our show, so we thought in proper Punjabi tradition that we would hand out laddus to you, and give you your laddus while you're here.
Oh,
Make some noise for G.Sidhu, guys.
Thank you, man.
Muh mein tha karo, boys.
When in Punjabi culture, when there's a celebration, and, you know, whenever there's a big event, you're always, you know, handing out laddus. So we wanted to give you your laddus. Table lagi honi, pehli table lagi hote.
Thank you, man.
No,
respect to you
shout
guys,
out
bro.
to you, man. We
No,
want to
no,
give you these laddus while you're here. Show you our appreciation. Show you that we, you know, we love you. We love your music. We love everything you're doing for the culture, for the industry, and hopefully you'll share some of those with us later.
I was gonna say we should just go around him and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
take a picture.
ਨਹੀਂ thank you. ਚੱਲ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਛੱਕਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਟੂ ਯੂ ਐਂਡ ਫ੍ਰੀਕੁਐਂਸੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, that you guys created this space, ਹਨਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੋਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਕਿ this is where I feel most comfortable ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ conversation 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ. It's like super. ਮੈਂ ਇੰਟਰਵਰਟ ਜਾਂ ਬੰਦਾ ਵਾ, ਸੋ I don't really thrive in like, so ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਏ, ਫਿਰ ਐਂ ਕੀਤਾ, so it's you won't get, ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਦੀ. ਸੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ, and I think that ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ artists ਆਏ, they've always enjoyed it, so shout out to you guys for doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Thank
make
you.
some noise, guys, again.
ਮਿੱਠਾ ਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ.
We want to
Yeah,
talk
Louis.
about not only. Almost got done. We want to talk about not only the impact that you have musically, you know, with your writing, but even just the effort that you put in with other artists. You know, we were speaking with another legend in his own right. Gupsera was, you know, took the opportunity to sit down with us and talk about his career. And an important thing that you had, or an effect that you had on his career, was ensuring that the song Peed made Diljit's album.
Yeah.
Tell us about your relationship with Diljit, how that came about, and give us your side of the story of Peed.
ਮੇਰਾ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਰੋਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ. ਗਾਣਾ ਬਣਿਆ ਪਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਦਲਜੀਤ ਭਾਈ ਜੀ ਜਸਟ ਪਲੇਡ ਇਟ, ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਲਾਈਕ ਮੋਸਟ ਪੀਪਲ ਹਰਡ ਇਟ, ਵੀ ਗੂਸ ਬੰਪਸ ਜਾਂ ਅੱਗੂ ਸੀਗਾ ਵਾਈਬ ਜੀ, ਵੀ ਉਹ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮਿਸਿੰਗ ਜੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਉਦੋਂ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਮਥਿੰਗ ਦਾ ਹਾਰਟ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਬਾਹਲਾ ਵਧੀਆ. ਸੋ ਹੀ ਵਾਜ਼ ਜਸਟ ਲਾਈਕ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜੋ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗੇ, ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਥਿੰਕ ਹੀ ਵਾਜ਼ ਇਨ ਸਪੇਸ ਟਰਾਈਂਗ ਟੂ ਫਿਗਰ ਆਊਟ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਵਾ ਇਨ ਟਰਮਸ ਆਫ ਜੇ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਣਾ. ਸੋ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਦੈਟ ਵਾਜ਼ ਇਟ. ਬਸ ਆਈ ਵਾਜ਼ ਜਸਟ ਇਨ ਦ ਕਾਰ, ਹੀ ਪਲੇਡ ਇਟ. ਮੇਰਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੀ ਰੋਲ ਆ, ਹੋਰ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. ਬਾਕੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗਾਣਾ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਵਾ, Gups ਦਾ ਹੀ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਟੈਲੈਂਟ ਇਕੱਠੇ
It's like a
ਹੋਏ.
tipping point
Well,
type thing, you know what I mean?
You're being super humble too, but give us a piece by piece. You're with Diljit. So how did you get out to California? You were there, obviously. You're a big part of that album. You were in the video during. Well, maybe not the creative process of the album, but the video you were in, right? For which track was that? Goat. Yes. How did that come about? What brought you out to Cali?
Before I forget, ਮੇਰਾ ਕੋਈ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਉਹ 'ਚ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਨਹੀਂ. ਅਗੇਨ ਦੋ ਆਰ ਆਲ ਟੈਲੈਂਟਡ ਪੀਪਲ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਸਾਰਾ. We connected through Cali Quest couple of months before that. ਵੀਡੀਓ ਸ਼ੂਟ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, right before COVID, ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਅਤੇ then COVID ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. then I think that's when the GOAT album ਦੀ ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਜੀ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਹੋਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਉਦੋਂ, ਅਤੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ then I don't know, it's he's like, if you could come ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ. ਸੋ ਆਈ ਵੈਂਟ. ਸੋ ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਨੋ ਵੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ. ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਫੈਨ ਆ, ਲਾਈਕ ਆਈ ਸੈਡ, ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ one of the people who I've always looked up to.
Legend.
So I was like, chalo, ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਰੈਡੀ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਆ ਸੋ ਅਗੇਨ ਡ੍ਰੀਮ ਕਮ ਟਰੂ ਸੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ ਹਨਾ ਸੋ ਆਈ ਡੋਨਟ ਨੋ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਸੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਸੀ ਆਮ ਜਸਟ ਹੈਪੀ ਇਟ ਹੈਪਨ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਟੂ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਟਾਈਮ ਐਂਡ get influenced from him just sharing some time is ਬਹੁਤ learning experience ਸੀਗਾ always positive vibes so ਸਿੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਉਧਰ ਹੋਰ ਤਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ always yeah
That's amazing, man. And again, the humblest response you can get, it's like when we all saw that, I thought, okay, maybe he's writing something on the album, maybe he's involved in it, but like for Diljit to just reach out and say, come to California and be a part of this project, that's huge. I mean, that just shows again what we spoke about with Gups is Diljit's just demeanor, positivity, and just showing, love and respect to other artists in the industry.
Yeah, bilkul 100% bro. Again, I didn't have much to do with it.
Nice.
So just Gups ਨੂੰ I think ਅਸੀਂ ਫੋਨ ਲਾਇਆ he's like ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਸ਼ੂਟਿੰਗ ਕਰ ਅੱਛਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਤੂੰ ਵੇਚਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਕਰਦਾ ਕੀ ਉੱਤੇ
ਧੁੱਪ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਆਇਆ
ਸੋ it just ਹੋ ਗਿਆ and again respect ਸਾਰਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਦਾ ਵਾ ਨਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਬਣਿਆ ਸੀ all I did was just heard it
that's it man tipping point that's bomb
ਪਰ ਜੋ ਵੀ I think ਵਧੀਆ ਸੀ ਗੁਪਸ ਲਈ because ਬਹੁਤ ਟੈਲੈਂਟਡ ਆ ਉਹ ਤੇ I think he's just needs to do more ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ attention ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ certain thing ਚ ਵੀ is very knowledgeable ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਵਾ and he showed ਉਹ ਗਾਣੇ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ he could bring ਅਸਲੀ music ਵੀ he display not just be superficial ਜਿਹਾ ਵੀ music ਜਿਵੇਂ which is fine which is ਕੋਈ ਉਹ ਵੀ fun ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵਾ ਆਪਣਾ samples loops everything is good ਕੋਈ negative ਨਹੀਂ but he also had that other side ਉਹ ਵਧੀਆ ਉਹਨੇ display ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ and I think underrated ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਗੁਪਸ ਵੀ
big time 100%.
Well, look how big the song became. He did a video for it. He didn't have a video done. He literally picked it up, did it, and released it. That's
and he was saying that was the teaser for the whole album, right? Originally, that's what he released. Diljit. That was, and that song wasn't even supposed to make the album. And Diljit ended up, after speaking to you, you don't take enough credit for it, but after speaking to you, they decided on it. So I think.
Like we were in a car ride, bro. Gana lagya.
And those are his words, not ours. Those are Gups's words.
Okay, so मैं तो गाना सुने like जिम्मे सारे ने सुने everybody enjoyed it. So I was just one of those. It just happened मैं unreleased सुन लिया सीगा. That's it.
It just goes to show, and maybe you have a hard time taking compliments, but the way other people in the industry speak about you, it's the same way. Everybody has a lot of love, respect, and the fact that you go out of your way to do some of these things, I think speaks volumes about your character.
पता नहीं but thank you
while you were with Diljit, did anything come about that in terms of working on anything? Have you is something in the pipeline? Maybe you can speak about it, can't speak about it?
I don't know ਜੇ ਰੱਬ ਚਾਹੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਡ੍ਰੀਮ ਕਮ ਟਰੂ ਹੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਨਾ like I said so he's one of the people I always looked up to.
Nice.
I'm not gonna be like
that's G.Sidhu not saying much, but I'm gonna take that as a track coming.
No bro no ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੁਝ ਮੈਂ ਸਹੀ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ obviously ਮਾਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਗੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਤਾਂ
absolutely
so ਕੋਈ ਚੱਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ.
Is there somebody in G.Sidhu's mind that he hasn't had the chance to work with? We know Sikshinder Shinda, Jazzy B, Diljit, anybody else that we haven't mentioned that you would be honored to work with?
like I said ਚਾਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਨਫਲੂਐਂਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੁਖਸ਼ਿੰਦਰ ਸ਼ਿੰਦਾ ਜੈਜ਼ੀ ਵੀ ਦਲਜੀਤ ਭਾਜੀ ਤੇ ਟਰੂ ਸਕੂਲ ਉਸਤਾਦ ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲ ਜੇ ਗੁੱਡ ਹੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ
okay ਠੀਕ ਹੈ I want to speak about something that I don't know how much I can say about it. Jyoti kind of told me about it earlier. Somebody who's been missing from the scene for God knows how long now. We almost forgot about him at a point, but when you bring up his name, I think your ears still perk up. Just Rain apparently has something in the works with a new TV show with Crave. We heard that you're a part of that show. Jyoti's also a part of it. Jyoti, you want to speak a little bit on that?
Yeah, I don't think we have too much to say, but G.Sidhu wrote my last release called Sher Bukda, my second last release. That and one of your songs, which it was Mundri, and they're both going to be featured on Just Rain's
Let's make
show.
some noise for Jyoti finally releasing some music too, man.
Yeah, man. Shout outs to G.Sidhu for writing that song for us.
Great track, yeah. And so both songs are going to be featured on his show. JJ, you know anything about it? You're probably the closest to...
know something.
Yeah, okay.
That's about it. And this, I think,
I feel like we got to
after
pour
the
some
fact.
more pegs because everybody's real quiet about some of these secret things that happen in the industry. I want to know what the hell's going on, man.
Yeah,
No.
So I guess it's all
Just
secret.
Rain the return. ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਊਂਡ ਲਾਈਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ 'ਚ ਐਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ
No, no, no.
ਸੋ ਆਰ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਚੈਪਸ ਨੇ ਰੀਚ ਆਊਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਫੀਚਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਬੁੱਕ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ
Yeah.
ਐਂਡ ਆਪਣਾ ਮੁੰਦਰੀ ਸੋ ਤਾੜੀਆਂ ਜਸ ਰਹੇ ਲਈ ਫॉर ਰਿਟਰਨਿੰਗ ਬੈਕ ਆਪਾਂ
Yeah,
ਸਾਰੇ ਉਹਦਾ
man,
ਫੈਨ
that's
ਆ ਸਰ
exciting.
ਹਨਾ
Yeah.
And
Extreme.
shout out Chaps. Ricky.
ਚੈਪਸ
Yeah.
Who made it all
ਬਿਹਾਈਂਡ ਦ ਸੀਨ
happen.
ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਦਿੰਦੇ
Yeah,
ਆ
yeah.
ਚੈਪਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ 100%
I feel like Chaps is like the music supervisor right now. He's literally looking for songs 24/7.
I think
That's all, like creating
Prodigy
songs. all that
Zoraver
stuff.
has a song on there as well.
Nice.
All right, so let's get to fun part of the show. G.Sidhu, you were a part of it last time where we played our Punjabi Shazam. We're gonna get to that. We're
Our
gonna
champion's not here today though.
we got our DJ crew in the house. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a couple more pegs so that we can feel like the episode is complete. And let's take a quick break and we'll get right back to it.